CCR, proud Mary at the stroke of 9. It's a proud day for India as a nation, and also one for women empowerment. Keithair Misquitta and Aarohi Pandit are in studio. These girls have done us proud. The first women in the world to fly a tiny little motor glider from India to Greenland as part of the WE expedition. And through the course of the hour, we're going to find out about the expedition.
94.3. This is Good Morning Mumbai with Hrishi K.
Hello ladies, how are you? Good to see you.
Hello, good morning.
Now there are two firsts here. One is the fact that Aarohi, you were the first woman, you became the first woman to fly solo across the Atlantic Ocean.
Yes, that's
and
right.
this was in this microglider with
Yes.
just a tiny little raft tied to your waist. Is that true?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So tell me what prompted you to do something as crazy as that.
It was crazy. Like, a lot of people call me crazy for doing that thing. But it was a beautiful experience flying from Scotland to Iceland, Iceland to Greenland. It was the very beautiful flight with so many icebergs en route and Atlantic Ocean below me. It was really beautiful. And flying in cold weather is what I've never done before. So that was like a very new experience for me. So overall, it was just a beautiful flight and not that difficult and very much fun.
No fear at all, saying that, if something goes wrong, there's only the Atlantic Ocean down there.
There is a fear always, but let's not say that.
So how many hours of training goes into something like this? Yeah, Keithair, I'm given to understand, and one of your captains said this because I checked it out on social networking, saying you guys had only 700 hours? Or how many hours?
Not 700, we just had 200 hours.
Oh!
And but we did do a little of training before we actually took off for the expedition. We were in a place called Serbia. Pipistrel is the manufacturer of the aircraft, and they have their own training and school in Serbia. We were there for about good 15 days. We did a lot bit of flying there, training on various conditions. And since this aircraft was relatively new to us, it was quite task
Quite a
rather
task.
to train on it, but since both of us were together, it did not seem that hard.
So it's just a single engine. Just tell me about the composition of the aircraft, and you call it Mahi.
Yes.
It has nothing to do with Mahendra Singh Dhoni. It's just Mahi.
No, not at all. So Mahi means companion for us. It's
course.
a Pipistrel manufactured Sinus 9012 aircraft. It's a motor glider. And it's very beautiful. Like, when it flies, it looks like a white bird with long wings gliding. It's very beautiful.
And how many hours of flying in it before you guys actually took off for the expedition on the glider itself?
We had about 30 to 40 hours each, and training in all sorts of flight conditions that we could available. So about 25 hours dual probably, and the rest 20 hours solo each.
Wow. And your trainers would be? You want to give a shout out to them?
Yes, definitely. Our expedition director, Captain Rahul Monga, and definitely our Pipistrel Serbia instructor, Dragan Sir and Stefan. They helped us a lot to get used to this new aircraft.
Yeah. It's not just about sitting in the aircraft, Aarohi and Keithair. It's also about mental conditioning and also about physical training. Because at the end of the day, you're not really going for a walk in the park here. So talk about the mental conditioning and the physical conditioning aspect. How much of that did you have to put in?
So for mental condition, we could say that we had to have like more than 8 hours sleep, good diet to wake up fresh in the morning and not take a lot of stress. So we used to prepare for our flight one night prior. Like, whenever we know this is the route, we used to start preparing from that time itself, so we don't take too much of pressure in the morning. And for physical fitness, it was just like daily walks, nothing much. And no diet at all.
I hope you carried something interesting on the flight when you got the munchies.
We did have a stock of banana chips. If
Nice.
nothing else. Yes, that was our
Kerala
staple.
banana chips.
Kerala banana
Can't
chips.
go wrong with that.
That's true.
Lovely. This is historic here. Keithair Misquitta and Aarohi Pandit are in studio. The first women in the world to fly a tiny little motor glider from India to Greenland as part of the WE expedition. Back right after this. All in Notes, Man Eater in a couple of minutes. All in Notes or a classic Man Eater 909. This is historic. The first woman in the world to fly a tiny little motor glider from India to Greenland as part of the Women Empower Expedition, WE expedition. This is in collaboration with the Ministry of Women and Child Development. I'm on air with Aarohi Pandit and Keithair Misquitta. We're streaming audio online live all across the nation. www.onecast.in, numeral 1cast.in. So if you have friends and family across the nation you want to hear this, you think ought to hear this, please tell them about it. On radio right here in Mumbai City, 94.3 on the FM band on your radio sets. Only if you're not driving. Statutory warning. You're in the backseat of a radio taxi, in a chauffeur-driven car, at home, at work, and you want to stream some video. It's facebook.com/radio1.mum, radio.one.mum. More conversation.
94.3. This is Good Morning Mumbai with Hrishi K.
Okay, ladies, the trajectory, the route. Yeah, so take me through all the essentials. Come on.
The route is quite interesting. We flew across 17 countries, did 27 hops. It lasted for about 51 days, and we've covered about 7,000 nautical miles. And we transited to 3 continents. We went from Asia to Europe, and we almost touched North America. So it was one fascinating journey for sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
So each leg, come on, take me through it.
So we started from India. After that,
You took off from
Patiala.
Sahar or Patiala?
From Patiala,
okay.
Punjab.
Punjab.
From there, we were in Pakistan, then Iran, Turkey. After Turkey, we ended up in Serbia, Slovenia, Germany, France, UK, Scotland, Iceland, and we ended our phase 1 in Greenland.
How does it work? So if you have to make an all-night stopover, you said you have to get 8 hours of sleep. So does one of you sleep and the other one stays awake, or do
No.
you dock for the night?
We dock for the night, and we make it as such that every time we fly up for about 400 miles on an average. So that's about 4 hours of flying, and then we stop for the night at the place, and the next day morning we leave early depending on what conditions or weather window we get to fly out. And when we are actually flying, we are never sleeping. We are always talking.
We are like always blah 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 inside the cockpit, either eating, either talking, either singing. So that it's always fun.
Singing?
Yes, we do. We sing inside.
Who
the
is a
cockpit.
better singer? Is it Keithair? Is it
None of
Aarohi?
us.
Aarohi, yes.
No, both of us are equally bad.
Well, as long as only the blue sky is listening, yeah?
Yes.
Or the grey sky, depending on the weather. What was the tricky portion? What was any portion that was a little rough and you said, oh my God, this could be tricky, or did you have it all smooth sailing throughout?
Not really. We had tough time in Iran due to high terrain. And then from Iran, after Iran, it was kind of smooth. But then came the Atlantic. That was difficult. So these 2 places we had like really tough time flying.
Iran was actually very, I would say, interesting because, like you said, there was terrain, and we are a little low-flying aircraft. So all we had to do was just watch out for the terrain going by near us and this and that. And there was never a dull moment in the cockpit. Like one of us is flying and the other one is chattering on the radio with the controllers. And while she's flying, she's like, "Oh, see the terrain!" And all of a sudden, I'm just scared. I'm like, "Where the heck is
I
the
remember
terrain?"
we used to be like, okay, one sec, can you see that? You cannot, I can. So just turn left or just turn right. So it was always that we used to just keep on
Interesting.
talking to each other.
So
spotting
some
clouds.
some mountain peaks were tricky. You had to maneuver them.
Yes.
And I imagine a lot of those mountain peaks must have been covered by clouds.
Yes,
yeah,
that's
so
true, yes.
that much more. But do you have radar telling you that? Yeah.
We didn't have a radar. We just had GPS information with us, and we had some elevation profile that we had researched on. But these peaks are like usually high, and we had to maneuver. Even this all comes in our pre-planning. But the day before, we sit and we see what is the elevation, and we can just go around this and turn around. But the thing is, with a huge wingspan, we always had to look out to see that we are not scraping through something and not touching something.
So there was like GPS and 4 eyes looking everywhere.
That is a radar.
Yeah,
That's
the
a much
wingspan.
better radar.
And the Atlantic, why was that? Did you run into some rough weather? Was there a storm or something like that? Yeah.
I did not a storm weather, but I did face like a different kind of weather because I've never flown in that weather condition. And North Atlantic weather, it's unpredictable. It just changes after every half an hour. And it was like a first time flying, for me at least, in a tiny little aircraft. But it was interesting. Like, I would love to.
And
do
no
it.
partner to sing to.
No, I was just singing to myself.
So you would, for example, get strong winds and then suddenly it become calm.
Yes,
Get,
it
that
changes
kind of change.
like
Yeah?
all the time. Like for an hour, it's like gusting, and then for like 20 minutes, it's smooth. Then again, you get that rough patch. But that was part of our journey, and we had to face it. So it was like a everyday thing.
I'm going to read out all your messages. Whatever you want to shout out to Keithair as well as Aarohi, please let me know. Or if you have any questions, happy to read them out. 9967743943 on WhatsApp. Easy to remember, the last three digits are our frequency, 94.3. So 9967743943 on WhatsApp. On Twitter as well as Facebook, you can go to the search bar, type HRISHIKAY, will pop up. You could tweet out with your name, post in the timeline, inbox with your name, facebook.com/radio1.mum, our official page. There again, any message for the First Ladies to do what they did on a tiny little motor glider from India to Greenland as part of the WEA expedition. They've just completed that. You want to shout out to them on the timeline, inbox along with your name, I will read it. Messages and back. Roxette, sleeping in my car, Perigasle, Marie Frederick Saw. There, Roxette. Vivek Nayyar, good morning. How are you doing? Thanks for the shout out. Keithair Misquitta Aarohi Pandit, the first woman in the world to fly a tiny little motor glider from India to Greenland as part of the Women in Power expedition. You want to check them out? You just do WE Expedition on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. They're on. More conversation with the ladies.
94.3. This is Good Morning Mumbai with Hrishi K.
Okay, now you're taking a break for the winter because the Greenland winter is harsh.
Yes.
What do you go back and do now? Give me your trajectory once you go back. And I'm given to understand Mahi, your aircraft. For those of you tuned in late, their aircraft is cutely called Mahi. So Mahi is in Greenland, yeah?
No, Mahi is currently in Iceland. So we ended up our phase 1 in Greenland, but I had to fly her back to Iceland because of parking and securing issues in Greenland. So right now it's in Iceland. So once the winter settles down, we'll fly to Greenland, and from there, we'll fly to Iceland, and from there we'll continue our second phase. So it will be Iceland to Greenland, Canada, USA, back to Canada, Alaska, Russia, China, Bangladesh, and back to India.
Wow. And is it back to Patiala where you took off from, or you're not sure as yet?
Yes, it will be back to Patiala.
Now, memorable moments. There's a Greenlandic village which has just 200 people, I believe.
Yes.
That must have been special. And Icelandic puppies or Greenland puppies?
Greenlandic puppies.
Tell me.
So they are extremely adorable. So I was in a place called Kulusuk. It's east of Greenland, and the population is probably less than 200 people there. But the people are so warm. It's like I know each and every one of them because I was there for like 20 days and I had so much time exploring that place. It's a very beautiful place, and also experienced snowfall for the first time there. So that makes me more happy.
Yeah, it's not as though you girls haven't had your fun times. There was also time for a teensy-weensy vacation. Where was that?
We did. While we were in Slovenia, we had a aircraft service, tiny bit of aircraft service that we had planned there. And so Slovenia is quite close to Italy. And we had the opportunity of going to Venice while we were in Slovenia. And it was Venice for us. It was pouring that day, but we still managed to drive down to Venice and
with
umbrellas and raincoats and all that we could. And what was the best part was we wanted to see Venice from a long time. We did get a chance.
Yes.
But what actually freaked me out was that boat ride through the canals of the city. Lara is nicely standing there enjoying.
Because that was so cool for me, and she's like she's scratching my hand.
There are two rides. One is from, when you take the motorboat into Venice, and the other is the gondola ride, which is the slow boat. You didn't do the gondola. You did the motorboat.
The guts to do the gondola. Definitely Absolutely
because
not.
that's like too low and it's too slow.
It's great. People go all the way to Venice to do that, girls. I mean, some also believe that they're going to be serenaded by the gondoliers, but these days you have to get the gondoliers to sing. You have to actually tell them
Request
to.
them, please sing for us.
So that must have been fun. So you did stop by in Venice
Yes.
for a bit. Now, another very important issue that you want to throw some light on is the fact that the percentage of female pilots is abysmally low. And part of the reason why you're doing this, the Women Empower Expedition, is to highlight that and try and get scholarships for women pilots.
We are basically doing this is to we're trying to aim to help the underprivileged sections of our society, the girls basically. So from the smaller towns and cities that we have, we are trying to raise an amount of money through flying to make sure for this We Udan scholarship, which will help educate 100 girls around India to make their careers in aviation. They could be pilots, obviously, but not all would want to be a pilot, so they can be anything, pursue any career in aviation. They could be working with flight operations, they can work as ground crew, they can work with controllers, they can work anything as they like. But we would urge girls from small little towns and cities. Girls have done obviously great things in the world, so why not help these little girls from us less known cities to make their mark? Probably they could help stand on their own feet.
So how does one try and help out in these scholarships? Just go to your handles,
Website?
yeah?
Yes.
Is there a website?
We
yeah?
have a
Yes.
website.
What is it?
It's wefly.org.in, and we
Go
also
slow, there's no graphics, it's not television. Yeah, so what is it? It's
wefly.org.in.
okay,
Yes,
wefly.org.in.
Yes, and we have like little bit of donation section there where we are trying to collect more and more donations so we can help the underprivileged girls to move further, and it will also support our cause.
Super stuff. Lady Gaga, Bad Romance, back with the history-making ladies. Gaga, well, I'm pleased to report that she acts as well as she sings. Go and see A Star Is Born, Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga. Aarohi Pandit is the first woman in the world to fly in a microglider across the Atlantic Ocean with just a raft tied to her waist. And Keithair Misquitta and Aarohi Pandit, the first women in the world to fly that tiny little motor glider from India to Greenland as part of the WE expedition, the Women Empower Expedition, which is in collaboration with the Ministry of Women and Child Development. We're streaming audio online all over the nation, www.onecast.in, numeral 1cast.in, 94.3 on the FM band on your radio sets right here in Mumbai City. Only if you're not driving. We're streaming some video live on Twitter now at HRISHIKAY Mochat.
94.3. This is Good Morning Mumbai with Hrishi K.
So, ladies, where did you celebrate Independence Day? Where was 15th August and how special was that?
So on 15th of August we landed in Erzurum, Turkey. It was very special actually because it was probably 25 days we were away from home, and then we got a chance to celebrate Independence Day in Turkey, so that made it even more special.
Would love to add to this was we were crossing from Iran to Turkey,
Yes.
so a different nation, a new crossing on the Independence Day, and we have a sponsor and partner, Electronic Lab, and Mr. Mehmet Tali from Turkey. He arranged an Indian flag for us in Turkey when we landed in Erzurum.
Yes.
So we not only just landed the aircraft in a new nation, but we also had a chance of holding up the flag and wishing all the people out there a lovely Independence Day message from us. So that is one thing that we'll always remember.
Yeah.
Celebrating Independence Day on a foreign field and having the flag being brought to us by our friends in Turkey. So
That
How
was really
cool is
special
that?
and really sweet.
Another historic thing was landing in Pakistan.
Yes, so our aircraft is the first VT registered, that's Indian registered microlight aircraft to land in Jinnah International, Karachi, Pakistan. So that's like one record we hold.
We hold.
Yes.
And the landing in Karachi was so amazing. It was our first international leg, so we're never going to be forgetting that. All of us always dream about the first international leg as we fly as pilots. Now we did an international leg together.
And we did like India to Pakistan. So,
the first thing.
so while crossing the border, we had like goosebumps on our
And we were actually
hands.
peeking out of the window to see,
Yes.
oh, that's the LOC.
That's the
that
LOC,
we
we're crossing it. So it was really exciting.
And what is this about you being petrified doing some adventure sport?
Yes.
Aarohi.
So that was in Sharikot. We did this
Where is Sharikot?
white water.
Where is
Iran.
Iran,
It's
yeah.
the roof
Iran.
of Iran, the highest point in Iran.
So we did this thing called white water river rafting. It was good for like first 35 minutes, but I don't know, after 45 minutes I was in my trip, like I was so excited, and all of a sudden I did not realize, but I was about to fall inside the water.
And this fall was nothing less than 12 meter deep on the bedrock of the river, and Aarohi does not realize she just seemingly lost balance on the edge of the raft and just going with the hands up down in the water.
The lifeguard, he physically
Grabs.
pulled me inside, and I still did not realize what was wrong. And then Keithair was like, "Are you crazy? You were just about to fall." That was so funny.
So essentially, your most tricky moment was not in the aircraft.
It was in the raft.
This
I
is
know.
crazy. A last leg of conversation with the ladies right after these messages. You don't want to go anywhere. Keithair Misquitta and Aarohi Pandit, they're part of the WE expedition. Liam Payne, Jonas Blue, Paula Roy at last leg of conversation with Aarohi and Keithair. The first women in the world to fly a tiny little microglider from India to Greenland as part of the WE expedition. WE stands for Women Empower Expedition.
94.3. This is Good Morning Mumbai with Hrishi K.
Well, famous people you've met and people who've really supported you and helped you around the world. Yeah, come on, let's go with that.
Our biggest support was from Mrs. Maneka Gandhi. She's the pioneer of Women and Child Ministry. She has our backs from the beginning, and she's such an inspiration. From the time we've met her and we've told her about the whole thing, she's always been supportive, and she's like, no, you girls are really too good for this and you all are the best for it, and she's always been inspiring. So for the first thing that we did after coming back was we went quietly to meet her, and she was so happy to see us.
She was very sweet to us.
She was
Lovely.
really sweet.
And we also got like a really warm welcome from IWPA, Indian Women Pilot Association. So there are like very experienced pilot in this community, and they made us their honorable members. So that was a privilege for us, and we are.
And they were so happy. They were like, we were the experienced commanders and pilots, and they're like, you guys are little daughters just like us. And they were so fascinated with what we flew, and they were just comparing, and they were like, you guys, we look up to them as an inspiration, and it's now the other way around. They're like, you guys are an inspiration.
Yeah, they were like, you girls are doing the actual flying, and that was really cool.
And this is not just about getting lucky. You girls were already part of the Bombay Flying Club in Juhu. You know, a lot of people would ask, saying, how do these girls get selected? So you want to run me through that? Yeah.
Yes, so we are commercial pilot license holder from Bombay Flying Club Juhu, and we were selected from our college itself. So our team came up looking for 2 young girls for this expedition, and that's how they picked us up. And we have been friends like 4 years. We've been doing our commercial pilot training together. So it was quite comfortable to get this opportunity together.
With each other, yeah, and doing it, because we know we had each other's backs for everything, right from training to the license and now the whole expedition. Yes. We had never thought in our wildest dream that we can go halfway around the world, the 2 of us together. So that's an experience by itself.
Super. Guys, follow their expedition. It's We Expedition. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Their regular posts, and they're going to go back post the harsh winter. Iceland, Greenland, and really circumnavigate the entire globe.
Yes.
Good on you guys.
Yes.
And you did say in a newspaper or a magazine article that the INS Tarini people inspired you. Is that true?
That is when we were first told that we were supposed to do this. That was when INS was the Tarini crew was just about to complete their legs, and we happened to see their journey, 256 days out in the ocean by themselves, 6 girls fighting with the waves,
6 women
to do it by themselves. And they were such an inspiration, because when they came back, there was not a slightest sign of fear that could have gone through their faces. They were like, we did it. And I'm like, that's so cool.
Yes, and they made like our entire nation proud. Yeah. And we are so proud of them.
Yeah, really.
So have you girls. It's a wonderful message I'm going to sign off with. This is Cassie, Hrishi K, Aarohi, Keithair. Hats off to the young ladies who have made their country proud of them. Our country with 2 young pilots. And Keithair has made the East Indian community so very proud of her expedition. Aarohi, her community too. Brave girls, keep the flying spirit. Cheers, have a lovely day, Cassie. And she adds, they've made their parents proud of them too.
That's so sweet.
Amazing. Thank you, ladies, and all the best. Cheers. Messages and back.
94.3. Upgrade to India's #1 international radio network. Upgrade to 94.3 Radio 1.